teaching here this morning. And you can grab one of those rollies and pull it in. So this is this morning's workshop is around just deals, like using bonus points, knowing how to use deals to really impact your business, impact your sales. All right. First off, like, why do we give away free stuff? I want you guys to tell me. There's three main reasons that we would give away free stuff. But why do we want to do a deal for a customer? When do we do deals? Anybody? It's an incentive. Absolutely. That's one way, right? To buy now versus wait till later. If they get today, we can give them something free. Absolutely. That's one of the three. How else? Or why else would we want to give away free stuff?
To show them the products.
To what?
Show them the products.
Okay. Maybe get more product in their hands, I would say that's what we're going to. Our second thing, that would be actual, like, help close bigger sales, right? Like, show them a better value. So the first place that I would use free points is, okay, I might not have a sale. Like, I want to use free stuff to help close a deal. The second reason that I want to use free stuff would be, or give like a lot of free stuff would be to help someone get a better deal, a better value, right? Because like Jessica's uncle was going to buy a homemaker with free scissors, and he really liked the cleaver and the Hardy slicer. He was a big cook. And then instead, we did a complete set and gave him $750 of free stuff. And he was so excited. And it was a win-win. Instead of her having, like, it would have been an $1,800 order, she had about a 2,600 CPO, right? But her uncle got hooked up. Like, he got all his stuff for his kitchen. He was so excited. All right. And anyone know the third reason that you would give away free stuff, or that you want to use? Like, it's a great reason to give away free stuff. Yep, to get more referrals. Cool, to get more referrals. So you're turning no sales into sales, or maybe sales into definite sales. We're helping them see better value packages, and then we're helping. We use that to help get more recommendations. All right, to build your business. And so a basic rule of thumb. So you guys want to write down. There's your regular rule of thumb is a 20 to 100 ratio. So 1 to 5. Cool. What does that mean? 20%. So you could just put, sorry, my brain's going in different circles. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. All right. So whatever total. So if I said to you, and right now you could grab a calculator. If I said, okay, my customer likes $867 worth of free stuff, Ava. Everyone grab your phone. $867 of stuff that they're looking at buying. How much free stuff could I give them? What are we going to do? Divide by 5. What's the number? Cool. So we know that we can give them about $173 worth of stuff. Cool. Give or take a little bit. And so we know that. So if you're helping, let's say you're an assistant manager and you're helping someone close a sale, or even for you, let's say, John doesn't pick up, or he's on the line with someone else, or somehow you don't get through, you know that you have the ability to do that. Cool. It could be 4 table knives, or 3 table knives. It could be a gadget and a pocket knife. It could be, a scissor. It could be, like, as long as it stays within that guideline. For every $100, dollars they spend, they can get $20 for free. And so again, divide by 5. That's the way to go through. Cool. Now, when somebody does, and we're going to talk about trade-in special here in a moment, but when someone does a trade-in, right? Now that's another tool for closing sales, is a trade-in. When would we want to use a trade-in special, like where somebody's actually like trading in some of their old knives? Why do we offer that? When would we use that? What type of client would that be good for?
A returning client. So like he's gonna buy from us again.
Okay.
So
It could be, and just this is actually not for returning clients. A trade-in special is actually for a newer client who thinks like my knives are fine, right? And so they're like, oh, Jose, our knives are okay right now, like they still work, or I don't know, or like, oh, we have good knives. Maybe they have a set of Wusthof or Henkels that they've had for 5, 7 years, and they're just not ready to replace yet. This is a really great thing to utilize is the trade-in special because they can actually trade in old stuff of theirs, right? Any old stuff of theirs, and they can get discounts or free stuff for their old stuff, right? And so you can have fun with that. When I have somebody and they have they're like on the fence, so one of two, so we're going to go with the ones that have junk stuff. We're going to go with the ones that have good stuff. Okay, so first, junk stuff. They just have like a bunch of random junk. I'm like, Miss Susie, how much do you think you'd get for those at a garage sale, right? And some of those guys will sometimes go, Kathy, I'd have to pay someone to take it, right? Or like, I don't know, like nothing, $2, $3. I'm like, how about if I told you if you actually traded in all your old junk. I'm like, it's gonna get recycled, right? I was like, anything that's usable, it'll get donated, but it'll get recycled. And I was like, and you can actually save about 15% off on the set, or they can get about 30% in free stuff. And so you guys can write that down. It's about 15% off that they'll get. And again, say about because the number might be a little, it's not just the exact number. Because when we do deals, what we're going to do is we find out, like we found out that 173 number. Well, but maybe the thing they want is 176, or maybe what they want is 172, right? Like we don't know that there's something that exact number. Well, when we do a discount, we're also not subtracting an exact number because when we do a discount, y'all, what we're doing is we're just not charging them for everything that they want. Okay. We're not charging them for everything that they want. And so that's how they're getting a discount is that we're not charging them for this item and we're going to give it to them for free instead of charging them for it. Right. And so that's how it would work. So with a trade-in special, if they have old junk, they can trade that in. Now with the nicer stuff, right? Same question. I'm like, hey, Miss Susie, I'm like, how long have you had your Wusthof, or how long have you had those? And they'll tell you, and I'm like, did you like Cutco? All right. And so I always ask this, and you can write it down. I'm like, did you like Cutco? All right. Is it something you could see yourself getting in the future, right? Whenever you're ready to replace your knives, is Cutco what you could see yourself getting in the future? And they're going to say, oh, yeah, or whatever. I'm like, okay, great. Well, I would definitely be like, well, question for you. I said, with your knives, I said, if you donated, or if you sold your knives, let's say at a garage sale, how much do you think you would get for your knives right now? Right. But first I start with, is Cutco what you'd want? Is, whenever you're ready to replace, is it what you'd want to get in the future? Okay, awesome. And then curious, Miss Susie, with your Wusthof, if you currently sold them at a garage sale, like how much do you think you could get for them? And some are hopeful, right? Or their stuff is still good. And they're like, I don't know, a couple $100, maybe 200, 300 bucks. And I'm like, all right, beautiful. I'm like, well, how about if I told you that with your set, you could actually get, and you guys can calculate it, but it's about 15% off or about 30% in free stuff. So if they're buying $1,000, what we know that that's about $150 off or $300 of whatever they want for free. All right. So those are the two options. So whenever we do a trade-in special, so just so you guys know, with regular deals, and again, we're gonna do these for you. Don't freak out like, oh my God, I gotta have all this done. We do it for you. But I'm just teaching you so you understand what's happening. Is that when we look at a regular deal, all right? So whenever we're doing a deal, so I'll just put whatever, regular deal. We know that with a regular deal, we can do as a manager, helping or with you guys and just you for yourself, we can do about 10% off, all right? Or 20% in free stuff, pretty much always, all right? We know that that works. So when you have whatever they're purchasing, we'll look to see, okay, what's about 10% of that price? Like, what could we give for free? Like to discount it, right? Like, what could we take off and not charge them for to discount it? Or they could pick out 20% in free stuff. All right. Now, when it's a trade-in special, all right, whenever it's a trade-in, with a trade-in, you can go a little bit more. Okay. So with a trade-in, that's where you can do about 15% off or about 30% in free stuff. All right. And some people do 25. I'll put 25 to 30%. Just depends how much you want to give away, but you could go up to 30%. All right. Just so you guys know that. Now I want everyone to write this free stuff. All right. Free stuff is always better than a discount. All right. So it's better for both parties, better for you, all right, and your customer. All right, so you're getting a bigger sale, your customer is getting hooked up on way more Cutco. All right, so I want to make sure that you guys know that free stuff is always, whenever we give you guys a deal, if we say, hey, they can do about $73 off, or they can pick $150 of whatever they want for free. And so when we give you guys that deal, you want to get more excited about the free stuff. You know, Stefan, one of my guys back in Miami, he's like, I don't want to give away free stuff. So I did 3 homemakers with the discount. Like, do the discount instead. And I'm like, you know that that's worse for you and for the customer. He was like, what? I'm like, yeah, because you did the discount. I was like, how the company does discounts. We can't just discount something. The price is the price. It comes from the factory to the customer's house. We don't have like all the middlemen and like upcharges to take off. And I was like, so when we do a discount, what we end up doing on our side is we actually just don't charge them for something. I was like, so the discounted homemaker means that we didn't charge them for all the table knives. And so that's why you can't give anything else away for free because we're using the free points by doing the discount. I was like, we're just going to give them the table knives for free. That's the discount. I was like, so you actually did give free stuff. I was like, you just, it's hidden as a discount, right? So for the customer, it's either discount or free stuff. And so if we discount it, we're not charging them for table knives. We're giving them table knives for free. If they pick free stuff, it's regular price, and then they're getting whatever they want, you know, for free. But Stefan, I showed him and he was like, oh man. I was like, it's definitely always a win-win for customers to pick free stuff. They're going to get a deal on more Cutco. They're going to own more Cutco and be happier about it. And then you're going to get a better sale as well. All right. But the most important thing, and you know, for me, I know that the more customers have Cutco, the more they love it. Okay. So that was huge. But my manager taught me, bless you. My manager taught me this when I first started, and it was a really big game changer and just understanding like, okay, do I always need to get free stuff? Like, no, like the first step in closing a sale is I want to find my customer's comfort zone. Cool. What do they like? What are they comfortable spending today? What are they excited about? But that's the first thing is that I want to find their comfort zone. You ladies can flip that table right here and just make it into a second row. Yeah. So I want to find their comfort zone. That's the first thing that I want to do. Once I have found their comfort zone, now we want to show them the best value. Cool. And so if they are on the fence about what they're looking at, then we just want to let them know, hey, they can do this discount or this free stuff with what they currently have. And we're going to give whatever deal based on what they have. If they've said, yes, I want this, I definitely want this, then I'm going to use free stuff to show them a step up with a discount or for like a good deal. All right. Now, again, at this point, your managers, you guys should be calling in. So you're at least at 30,000. I'd probably say 50,000. Nadia Blair, which some of you guys got a chance to meet Nadia at the conference. Nadia called us till she was like over 50,000 in sales. Sarah Law Fellig, one of my Silver Cup champions, Sarah Law called us until she was like at 150K. I was like, Sarah Law, you know, you've sold like over $100,000 of Cutco. Like, you don't need to call me for all the deals. And she's like, I always sell more when I call you, so I'm gonna keep calling. Like, okay. But you know what? I prefer that. And Sarah Law that year in 2011 was Rookie of the Year. She started not Labor Day weekend, Memorial Day weekend. And in just 7 months was the number one rookie of the year, Silver Cup champion that year, 18 years old. And she just worked really hard to get good at the business and understand the business, and learning these things. But I was like, your job number one is to find their comfort zone. Once you find their comfort zone, number two is to find the best value. Don't try to do it by yourself. Use your managers, right? But I want you guys to understand what we're doing, because as you move up as an assistant manager or assistant manager, you're going to help other people with deals. And so you need to know what you can do for deals. All right. So anytime we're up serving for a customer, anytime we're helping them, hooking them up on something bigger, we're always going to use the trade-in type, like the 15% off or the 30% on something bigger, right? If I'm helping a client close, and I want to close them right now, depending on if they're considering or if they're definitely getting, we're going to approach it differently. And one, we're just going to give the best deal to close it because you might not even have a sale. The other, you already got the sale. We're helping you find what's the best bundle, what's the best value, what's the best package for that customer. All right. So trade and special helped me so much when I was newer. Because when somebody was on the fence or they had good stuff, then I could say, hey, did you like Cutco? My manager taught me that. Is it something that when you're ready to replace, your knives, is Cutco what you could see yourself getting? Like, is this the next move? Right. And they're like, oh, yeah. Then I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, curious, if you guys sold your Henkels today or your Wusthof, at a garage sale, how much do you think you would get for those? The highest I've ever gotten was like $300 or something like that. That's the highest, literally in 400 appointments. The highest I ever heard was like $400. And I said, awesome. I said, well, how about if I told you that with your complete set, you could get $300 to $400 off. So get a discount, get nothing for free. Or if you traded in your stuff, you can trade in a car at a dealership. Well, Miss Susie, you could do the same thing with your knives. I was like, so you could do the discount, or you could pay the regular price and put down the whatever 673 deposit, and you could pick out $750 of whatever you want for free. Would that interest you at all? And guess what most of them say? Yeah, right. If they actually liked it and wanted it and want to get in the future, and now they're like, wait a second, I'm gonna get set, I wouldn't even get $300 or $400 for my knives, but they're going to give me $750 of credit to pick out whatever I want. And I never, ever have to replace any of this, right? Again, I never have to go through this. Heck yeah, let's do that, right? And so that helped me close a lot more sales, the trade-in special. The second thing that helped me close a lot of sales was the trial close. And that's something that I want to practice here together with you guys. And then we're going to do the close. And then right after we do the close, they're going to say, oh, no, I just don't know if I can, I don't know if can do all that right now. Our knives are okay right now. And then you're going to offer the trade-in special. All right. And you're just going to say, hey, Miss Susie, do you know how you could trade in a car at a dealership? You basically want to use the car analogy. Every homeowner knows you can trade in a car at a dealership and get credit for it. And you're like, well, our company actually does a similar thing to help close more of the larger sales. All right, everyone say that. Our company does a similar thing to help close more of the larger sales.
To help close more of the larger sales.
Cool. And so that's what we do. I was like, because the more we sell, the more we can also donate. We give a percentage of our larger stuff. You guys know the purple Cutco. Today's the last. Today is gone. Today's July 1st. I wonder if I can still get an order in. I really wanted to order myself some purple. But yeah, but anyway, your the company, has, so they can sell, more of the larger sets. And so they have this available, but I'm like, how you can trade a car at a dealership and you get credit for your vehicle. I was like, you can do the same thing here. And they'll ask you, they're like, Ava, like this. And they're like, I can give you this and get a discount. And you're like, yeah, what are they gonna do with this? And I'm like, honestly, that's probably going to get recycled. I'm like, anything that's not good is going to get recycled. Anything that is good, is usable, is going to get donated to people in need. I was like, but it gives you a chance to get a discount or, some free stuff with your Cutco. I'm like, would that interest you? And I can get the exact prices for you. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. So then we'll do that. Sounds good. So as far as the trial close, and I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. The verbiage of it, make sure that everybody here has the deposit, okay? And we're just going to practice this. But this is basically at the end of the presentation, instead of them, excuse me, instead of you saying like, hey, you could do our 5-month interest free, you know, or easy, but you could get that today. We're going to we're rephrasing this, all right? Let me put this on here. All right, well, rephrasing this, we're rephrasing the 5-month interest-free investment option with the 100% refundable security deposit. All right. So we're going to say, so Miss Susie, again, you could pay in full, right? So you could pay in full. But most people like to use our 100% refundable security deposit to try out all the products and just see how you like them. All right. This allows you to put 100% refundable deposit to try out the products. The deposit is just 20% down today, and it gives you 3 weeks just to try them and just see what you think. Worst case scenario, you send anything back and you get 100% of your money back. You had free Cutco for 3 weeks. All right. But Miss Sandra, that rarely happens, right? And so this is really important that as you guys are doing this, you're writing this, you know, on your paper. So basically what just happened was page 9, right? On page 9, you guys went through here. And let me stop my share. So you guys went through on page 9 and you said, you know, you're talking over $4,000 for a basic set of Cutco, right? And then, so that would be like buying a really nice sofa set, you know, a nice sofa or a really nice refrigerator or a different home appliance. And then you go to page 10, you say, hey, the great thing is that it's not $4,000, although it would be if it was sold in stores. As a matter of fact, it's not even as much as this set here, which is over 3,000. Our Homemaker Plus 8 is only 1,715. Now, Miss Susie, you could pay for it all in full today. I found that most people didn't put away a couple grand waiting for the knife girl to come by. What most people end up doing is using our deposit program, and it's 100% refundable. All right, security deposit on any set you want to try. It lets you put 20% down on any set, okay? And it actually gives you 3 weeks to just try it and just see how you like it and go from there. Cool. And so the deposit for this would come out to, it's 347 plus tax. So it's about 360, I think like 350 something. And so you would put that down. You get 3 weeks to use it, abuse it, make sure you love it. Worst case scenario, send it back. You get 100% of your money back, and you literally had free Cutco for 3 weeks. Like, that's the worst case scenario. I highly doubt, Mackenzie, that's going to happen. Everybody loves Cutco. So you can either call and pay the whole thing off, or you can use the Easy Pay, and it's going to charge you the same amount each month. Cool. So basically, if you did that, you'd want to put aside about 90 bucks in the weekly budget, all right, which comes out to 45 bucks each. All right. Now we have something called a buy now bonus. All right. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a reason to buy now versus later, where if you guys wanted to go ahead and do that today, you could actually get a free gift. So you could pick out the kitchen tools, you could pick out the entertainer pack or some different gadgets if you wanted to do that. I'm like, which one of those do you like the best? I always ask, and they're like, oh, I love this. I want them shopping. All right. So I'm like, oh, which free gift would you like the best? And then I'm like, cool. I'm like, well, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask, would you like to try your Cutco today and get your free gift? You could either pay in full or just put the deposit down so you can get it for 3 weeks, try it out, see how you like it, and then just go from there. Cool. By the way, do you guys, why do you think we'd sell more often doing it like this? Because when my manager taught me this, my closing percentage went from like 30% to over 70% just with this, by the way. Why do you think you're going to close more sales closing it like this?
So that I can see.
Okay, well, one, there's the visual. You got to write stuff down for sure. You're going to close more, making sure numbers are written down. Why else would you sell more?
I mean, the smiley face looks nice, but also I think that like the big buy now free bonus, I feel like that would really catch their eye and make them think that
Okay.
like, oh yeah, I'm getting a good value out of this.
Okay. What else? How about if that wasn't there? What else?
The budgeting.
The budgeting. All right. That makes it easier. That's a big thing in training. Those who trained with me, I talked about Mr. and Mrs. Ramirez. And when they were discussing, can we do this? She said to Mr. Ramirez, like, okay, can you do 40 bucks? I can do 40 bucks, right? For like their order. Definitely. What else? Yes, they're not making a decision yet, right? And so the 100% refundable deposit, that makes it way more comfortable for a lot of people. I don't know if you know this, Nikia, but most human beings have commitment issues and are procrastinators. Okay. And so they'll put anything off whenever they can. So this right here is really um, it's leaning into that, like knowing that the average person is like, oh, I don't know, like you caught them off guard. I need to think about it, or and it's like this is a no pressure, right? We're not putting pressure. They're not making a decision yet. They could pay for it, or just put 100% refundable deposit, right? No commitment, no like forever commitment, and they have 3 weeks to just try it out and see how they like it. Worst case scenario, what happens? They send it back. And what happens? They get their money back and they had free Cutco for 3 weeks. That is the worst case scenario. So that makes people feel a lot more comfortable. Okay. And guys, closing a sale is all about finding your customers what? Comfort zone. Okay. So this makes people feel a lot more comfortable. All right. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna role play this. I want you guys to pull up a training appointment because you're gonna do your closing. You're gonna do 9 and 10, but you're gonna incorporate explaining the trial close here at the end. All right. And so let me go ahead and